Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. Well, yesterday turned out to be a very bullish day after those CPI numbers came out, and it was led higher by U.S. transports. There's the transport ETF back on a buy signal as of Tuesday's close, and the big winners yesterday were the airline stocks, both United and Delta, leading the S&P 500 to a new all-time closing high. In the pre-market this morning, stock index futures are currently above fair value. Gold is up slightly, while crude oil is down slightly on Wednesday morning. We have no major economic numbers coming out this morning. The next major number are the energy inventories coming out later in the morning. Looking at the major index ETFs, there's the iShares for the TSX 60 moving up slightly yesterday, up 0.33%. There's the Vanguard Canada ETF moving up a little over 0.5% on the day. While stocks were moving higher yesterday, bonds were moving down on the day. Now, the Dow is back on a buy signal as of Tuesday's close, joining the S&P 500, making a new all-time closing high on Tuesday. We're now have the equal weighted S&P 500 back on a buy signal as of Tuesday's close, joining the Nasdaq 100, making a new all-time high on Tuesday. The equal weighted Nasdaq isn't there yet, while the next generation Nasdaq is back on a buy signal. Now, if rates are going to come down in September, what part of the market does it help the most? Well, the small cap, mid cap, micro cap stocks all moved up sharply yesterday and are back on buy signals as of Tuesday's close. Semiconductors making a new high for this move on Tuesday. Now, moving on to the world of technology stocks, starting off with the NASDAQ 100, making a new all-time high yesterday. The VIX for the NASDAQ was down on the day as well. As long as that VIX stays on a sell signal and the dots at the bottom stay red, that's usually supportive for higher stock prices. Now, in the Canadian market, Infotech stocks ended the day actually unchanged, and we are trying to get to 81.25. That's the top of our projected trading range on the daily charts. On the weekly charts, you can see that is our next target. We do have a higher target, but we're still trying to get to 81.25 before we take a run at 87.50. Now, the ARC ETFs are all doing well except one at the moment. So there's FinTech on a buy signal. Genomics has been in the doghouse last couple of weeks and still waiting for a buy signal. We're back on a buy signal for the Innovation ETF. My favorite is the Industrial ETF. It's on a buy signal right now. No change there. Then we're got the next generation internet stocks, looking to see if we can break out above the high from July. Then we've got Space just treading water here, but back on a buy signal as of Tuesday's close. Now, in a lot of cases right now, we're looking at stocks and ETFs that are up at the top of the panic zones here, and it's a lot harder to make money up here. It isn't impossible, and sometimes stocks take off from these levels, but on average, it's very hard to make money up at these levels. The easy money, of course, was made off the bottom of the panic zones when the pressure zone formed down here. We saw panic selling, and then we started to move up. So, if a stock is $10 down here, it moves up a dollar. That's a 10% gain. If it's $20 up here and it moves up a dollar, that's a 5% gain. So it's harder. The risk reward is getting lower and lower the higher you move up here. Now, when we look at who's in control for this particular ETF, you can see back in late April, the pros took control, and this particular ETF has been moving higher ever since. But notice that the pros peaked back in July here, and looks like they've been liquidating ever since. So even though we have not had aggressive selling, there's been enough buyers coming in to match the pros giving up control. But that's usually not a good sign. So we'll just have to wait and see how that works out. Now, when we look at different areas of the world of technology, you've got cloud computing stocks making a new low for this move on Tuesday. There's a new high for the autonomous and electric vehicle ETF. Nothing going on in cybersecurity at the moment, and still waiting for digital payments to generate a buy signal. It's dealing with an open gap at the moment. Then looking at robotics here, we're trying to get a close above 33.87. What do? We closed at 33.88. So that is a buy signal as of Tuesday's close. Now, with both the NASDAQ 100 and the Magnificent 7 ETFs making new all-time highs on Tuesday, one would assume that most of technology stocks look something like Alphabet or Celestica. And that is not the case at the moment. There's a lot of broken technology stocks right now. And in the Canadian market, we can scan through and look at BlackBerry Constellation Software, which peaked back in May. There's the CGI Group making a new low for this move. We've got Lightspeed on a sell signal, Topicus making a new low on Tuesday. So not everybody is pushing up into the top right-hand corner of the screen. There's Adobe Systems making a new low for this move. Akamai made a new low 2 days ago. There's a new low for this move for Salesforce. We've got CrowdStrike making a new low on Monday for this move. We've got DocuSign making a new low on Tuesday for this move. Again, ServiceNow is trading down into an open gap at the moment. We've got PayPal treading water here, trying to hold the $66 level. Then we've got Snap making a new low on Tuesday before recovering, and there's Zoom making a new low on Tuesday. So while everybody's celebrating, there's a lot of stocks going in the opposite direction at the moment. And that isn't a concern to anybody right now, but at some point it might be. We've got those big cap tech stocks, which are so heavily weighted in the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 that they're still holding the market up, whereas lots of areas of the market are not doing well right now. And would I buy any of these stocks if they started to turn around? Well, I'm not following any of them personally, but if BlackBerry, for example, was to generate a buy signal, I'd certainly be interested in taking it. But that is certainly not happening on Wednesday morning. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. So far, it looks like we're going to see a higher open on Wednesday morning. Have a great day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Thursday.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.